Warning: the following video contains spoilers for Mortal Kombat 1 and Mortal Kombat 1 Chaos Reigns. Viewer discretion is advised. Mortal Kombat 1 is the newest game from NetherRealm Studios in the Mortal Kombat franchise as of the time of this recording, and I thought it was a rough entry in the series. I played the game for about 2 months, and kinda never touched it again, but we're not here to talk about how the game was pretty mid-tier. We're here to talk about a character who resurfaced in the game and has been MIA in Mortal Kombat for quite a while. Havik. I'm Toasted Mushroom, and let's get into this game's misinterpretations of one of Mortal Kombat's most unique fighters.
Get over here!
Havik is a character first introduced in Mortal Kombat Deception. He was introduced as part of the Order Realm and Chaos Realm conflict sub-story within the overall story of Mortal Kombat Deception. He is introduced to us in the Conquest story mode of the game through the eyes of the recently appointed fighter Shujinko. As Shujinko makes his way through the realms to find the 7 magical Kamidogu, relics created by the Elder Gods, he finds himself in the third accessible realm, the Chaos Realm. This is where we meet Havik. His appearance is monstrous, as he has glowing pure white eyes, and his face from the eyes down reveals his exposed skull. It is unknown if this is self-inflicted or not. Although his appearance is one that is off-putting, when he introduces himself to Shujinko, we get a rather large juxtaposition as he speaks with a clear and calm demeanor and a voice that doesn't match his appearance.
Well done.
We learn that in this realm, Chaos is a religion that the inhabitants follow. The more unorganized and unplanned things are, the more they align with what the inhabitants want. We see this in their official saying for the religion, "May Chaos break the rules that bind." Havik is a cleric for the religion of Chaos, and he sticks to that very well. He becomes angry to any type of binding that may come his way, whether this be actual physical restriction or even simply a vow. This is the way that Havik is created to be and act during his first playable iteration of the Mortal Kombat timeline. He, in essence, is 100% neutral in all endeavors aside from the limitation of his own chaotic nature, and will often choose to aid in conflicts in ways that create the most chaos. This can be seen during the comics of Mortal Kombat X when Havik plays a role as the main antagonist. Here he does something that we'll come to understand a little bit better later, but for simplicity's sake, I will read an excerpt from the article that I was reading. He shows his power when he takes Forest Fox and uses him to kill Scorpion. Then he takes Sub-Zero to kill Scorpion, until Scorpion finds out Shujinko, who owns a dagger himself, only to be stopped by Havik in disguise, who talks to Scorpion. Havik then rips his face off and attacks Scorpion. Meanwhile, Shujinko attacks Takeda in the room over. Yeah, I don't understand the Mortal Kombat X comics either. Anyways, Havik is reintroduced into the timeline that starts with Mortal Kombat 1. He has some changes to his ability and his origin, but that is to be expected due to Mortal Kombat 1 always changing its visual style, and Liu Kang changing the origins of many fighters to mitigate their threat level. This Havik is more human-like in his appearance. He even has a normal face prior to the events of Mortal Kombat 1 story mode. He is also now from the Order Realm rather than the Chaos Realm, taking a lot of pointers from the story of the character Darius from the previous timeline. However, this video is not about this Havik. I only thought I should speak about him a bit because someone in the comments would most likely point it out that I didn't mention him. No, I want to talk about Titan Havik, who was introduced at the end of Mortal Kombat 1's story and serves as the main antagonist of the DLC Chaos Reigns. This is supposed to be the same Havik who comes from the Mortal Kombat X timeline after he defeats Kronika, gaining the power of the Hourglass. The appearance of Titan Havik is a lot closer to his Mortal Kombat Deception counterpart than his Mortal Kombat 1 timeline counterpart, but I don't think he looks as disturbing as his first appearance. He keeps the glowing white eyes, although his face seems to be more badly damaged than just the lower half. He also adorns armor that we've never seen Havik dressed in, including a unique helmet. Interestingly, we don't see Havik wearing the crown of Kronika, something that seems consistent with all the other Titan forms of the other characters. During his time in Mortal Kombat 1 and Chaos Reigns, he is seen acting very different from the Havik than we've come to expect. Havik's entire ideology and religion is to worship and spread chaos, but during his appearances, Titan Havik is seen commanding subordinates to carry out his will and having subordinates in the first place. This is a large far cry from the Havik we saw trying to change people's thinking by awakening the chaos within their own perception rather than force. We see him subjugate Geras as well in order to use his abilities to help Havik corrupt the other timelines in the multiverse. I think the way that he's characterized during the events of this DLC is not how Havik should be portrayed. Instead of oppressing people in the ways of chaos, he should be using chaos to turn people to his side, like the Chaos Pendant quest during the events of Mortal Kombat Deception's Conquest. There, we see him place these pendants around Order Realm guards' neck, allowing them to see what chaos truly is. The way they portray it in the game, it seems like once Havik got the abilities of a Titan, he had the power to stop whomever stood in his way, therefore everyone obeyed. But I think it would have been more in character for him to manipulate things from the shadows in order to gain people and followers of their own free will. Maybe him causing a leader to accidentally kill a bunch of people, therefore turning them to his side, would work better. I would have liked, instead of Havik giving orders, he almost unleashes his followers like rabid dogs. The idea is not to have an army to complete a goal, but to have an army to create as much chaos as possible. I'd also like if Havik fought a lot more. A lot of the DLC revolves around our group of fighters, Johnny Cage, Tanya, Scorpion, Sector, Cyrax, fighting his followers, while Titan Havik just kinda sits on the sidelines watching. This happens the most during the initial meeting in Liu Kang's timeline and during the maze section in Titan Havik's timeline. The Havik we've come to know should be portrayed as someone dangerous when backed into a corner. If he was bold enough to make these moves, then he should be able to walk the walk, so to speak. I do, however, like the idea of him using the Kamidogu to supercharge himself. It makes sense since it would give Havik more power and more durability, allowing him to fight multiple times and with multiple people of different power. As a Titan, Havik is already more powerful than others around him, so this would make sure that, at least in a one-on-one match, there would be no one who is his equal. Saying all this out loud, it just doesn't make sense to me why they would sideline the guy who is known for doing whatever he wants. And, in the end, Titan Havik falls victim to Mortal Kombat's trend of having the main villain defeated by a character who does not deserve it and would not believably accomplish that task. He gets defeated by Noob Saibot, the same person who gets defeated by much less accomplished fighters at the beginning of the story. Havik, a Titan, one of the strongest creatures in existence, now powered up by the Kamidogu, literally the things that break apart and put together the realms, is defeated by Bihan, who has been corrupted by Havik's magic. That makes no sense. They try to explain it that Noob Saibot was exposed to Havik's chaos so he can predict what Havik would do, but even that makes absolutely no sense. If we compare this fight to like Taskmaster versus Deadpool, we can see exactly what would actually happen. Taskmaster is a villain known for being able to copy anyone's fighting abilities as he's fighting them. This doesn't work on Deadpool due to the fact that his fighting style is so unpredictable. Now tell me again that because Noob Saibot was quote-unquote exposed to Havik's chaos, he can defeat him. Maybe I'd be willing to say that he could defeat Titan Havik, but that's already a huge stretch. With the power of the Mortal Kombat Infinity Stones, bro, it's a lot like Cassie beating the powered up Shinnok. At least for Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat 9, Raiden was powered up by the Elder Gods. And at least in Mortal Kombat 11, Liu Kang had the power and the combination of two Liu Kangs and Raiden's godly powers when he fought Kronika. Anyways, sorry about going on that tangent. It's neither here nor there, I suppose. In the end, I don't think they portrayed Havik the way that they should have. Making him a main villain is an interesting premise that could have had so many interesting avenues that it could have taken, especially because he's one of the most beloved characters from the PS2 era games that people look upon fondly. They made him into a much more generic straight-up villain for his debut as the big bad and mischaracterized him to fit the plot. I would have preferred a much more feral take on Havik. One that had people join his side without subjugation, and someone that you wouldn't even know is pulling the strings, but when you find out, he becomes like a wild animal who's been backed into a corner and just goes nuts. Hopefully, Havik will get another time to shine in the future, where he can show off this more unique angle or something closer to what he was originally intended to be. Anyway, that's it for me. If you liked the video, please consider liking and subscribing. Did you like Mortal Kombat 1? What about Chaos Reigns? If not, maybe tell me what your favorite Mortal Kombat game was. I used to play the hell out of Deception and Armageddon when I was younger. And I did used to play a little bit of 11, so that's cool. And remember, if you're not toasted with toasted mushroom, then you're just baked. Then you're just